Howdy.
Howdy.
All right, guys, today we are going to be learning about research strategies. Okay, please make sure you have a pencil and a laptop readily available for the lesson. I'm going to start passing out your notes. When you get them, please make sure that you have your name, date, class period at the top, and be prepared to be filling out the notes as we follow along with the presentation. All right, make sure everyone has their notes. Does everyone have a copy of notes?
Yes. Oh, we need one.
He has two.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Teddy needs it.
Oh, no, I don't have one. Oh, no.
All right, guys. So today we are going to be learning about research strategies. And for our reflection piece, I want to start out with you guys thinking about how we research. Now, we live in the age of technology, so you guys all at some point or another have done research online at some point. Some questions I want you to ask yourself, and you should be writing your answers down as you're thinking. How do you search for information on the internet? Okay, so under the reflection piece on your notes, I want you to write down, what site do you use? Is it one? Is it multiple? If you use any kind of search engine or your phone, I want to know what sites are you using to research and what kind of results do you get? When you research, are you getting a ton of results that don't really have anything to do with what you're looking up? Or are you getting things that are kind of random? Or maybe you're getting a million results and it's way too much. What kind of stuff are you getting when you are searching up a topic or information? I'll give you guys a few minutes to write down your thoughts on the reflection piece of your notes. Where you're telling me what sites you use and what kind of results are you getting when you are doing research. This can be in class or in your personal life. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to turn and talk with your partner about your results. Go ahead.
Google, Lily, Google.
All right, howdy. Okay, guys, so now I want to hear your thoughts. You've written them down, you've shared with a neighbor. So what sites are you guys using to do research? Eric, what site do you use?
Google.
Sorry?
Google.
Okay.
Safari.
Safari.
It's not really a site, but Alexa.
Alexa, okay, so maybe we're using an app. Anyone else?
I usually use Safari or Google.
Safari or Google?
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia?
The Wiki app.
The Wiki app. Okay, so same thing as kind of Wikipedia. Chrome. Okay, good. Anything else that you guys use? Okay, so when you're using those websites, are your results exactly what you're looking for typically?
No.
No? Okay, so do you guys think that you're normally having to do more searches, or maybe you're scrolling for a while looking for exactly the right information?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to research effectively when you're looking for information or a topic. This can be for at home or in school, or maybe you're out at the mall and you want to look up something real quick. So this is going to be a really good way for you guys to learn how to effectively research, okay? So we're going to start with some vocab. Make sure you're following along on your notes. There are some blanks for you guys to fill in. First word that we're starting with is media literacy. Has anyone ever heard of media literacy before? No. Okay. So let me tell you that media literacy is the ability to access assess, analyze, evaluate, and create media in a variety of forms. Okay, all the words that are underlined should be filled in on your notes. So it's the ability to access, assess, analyze, evaluate, and create media in a variety of forms. Yes? I'm sorry? That's okay. Okay, so basically media literacy is learning how to look at information and getting proficient with using digital pieces of information, sometimes print, sometimes digital, and accessing it, analyzing it, doing everything with that information, right? We're not just looking at it, we're looking at it and then using it. Okay, any questions on media literacy? All right, next we have resource or a source. This is any source or material regardless of form or location, so it doesn't matter if it's print or electronic, and it provides necessary information. Okay, so you guys use resources all the time. Textbooks are a resource. Looking up information on the internet is a resource. Can you guys think of any more resources that you might use in real life?
Family members.
Maybe your family members are a resource.
Notes in school.
Okay, we're using our notes as a resource. Anyone else? Journal, so notes. Maybe we're using digital resources. And books, good. So you guys are familiar with these. Any questions on what a resource is? So it's something where we can get information. Okay, now media or medium, this is a channel of communication. Now there's lots of different forms of media. You guys are familiar with all of these. Print forms might be in the form of books, newspapers, or magazines. Broadcast media is going to be like radio or TV. And we also have internet, like websites and social media. Okay, so this is just a form of communication. Okay, make sure we're writing those notes down in our blanks, please. Any questions on our media or medium? Media is the plural, medium is the singular, okay? Let's take a look at a database. Who's ever heard of a database before? Okay, maybe some of us, good. So a database is an organized collection of data, and it's stored and accessed electronically. Okay, so stored and accessed electronically. Our district actually provides lots of databases that we're going to look at in a little bit that you guys have access to use to find any kind of information you need. This is basically a big place where you can search for anything, and there's most likely going to be some kind of data on it. And there are lots of different forms of resources in databases. You might have magazines, you might have news articles, you might have websites or links. So there's tons of options to use when you are looking for information in a database. Next we have reliable. So you guys have most likely heard of being reliable before. You should write down that it's a consistently good in quality and it's able to be trusted. So you might have something in your life that's reliable that you think of. You can always rely on it. You can always go to it. You know you can always trust it. It's always going to be there for you. When we talk about reliability with resources, we're looking for a resource that has accurate, correct, good information. Okay? Any questions on that? Next, we have a keyword. This is a searchable word. An example would be like a significant word in a title or summary. So if you have a book, the keyword might be a word in the title, or maybe something that it's about, okay? Maybe if you're doing Diary of a Wimpy Kid, you're looking up school, or if you're doing like the Warrior Cat series, you look up cat. So this is a keyword that you can use to search for that thing. Okay, any questions on keyword? You guys familiar with keyword?
Yes.
Pretty much, good. Okay, now the last one I'm going to talk about is a subject heading. Is anyone familiar with the subject heading? Maybe some of us have heard of it. So a subject heading is a word or phrase that identifies the content of what an item is about. So a keyword might pull up any word that's in the text. A subject heading is going to be specifically what it is about. Okay, so there's a huge difference between these two. Before we look at the difference between a keyword and a subject heading search, do we have any questions about the vocabulary before we move on? All right, so we are going to compare keyword searches versus subject heading searches. Okay, this is going to be how you kind of figure out what the best way to search for a piece of information is. Sometimes keyword is your best option. Sometimes subject heading is your best option. I'm going to show you the different ways that these are useful. So that way when you are searching for stuff in the future, you can kind of make your decision on which form of searching you want to use. Now, a keyword search is also known as a basic search. So make sure you get that written in your notes. Keyword searches are also known as basic searches. For keyword searches, you're going to get a large number of results. Okay, if you're looking up dog for the Dog Man series, that's going to pull up a ton of results about dogs, right? Maybe you're doing a research project for science looking at dogs, and you're going to get basically anything about dogs that you can find, which is going to be a lot. So keyword's going to be a large number of results, and it's going to be a broad range of resources. You might get newspaper articles, you might get websites, you might get fiction books, nonfiction books. Maybe you're going to get something from a reference source. So this is going to be a very large number of results and a very broad range of the resources that it's going to pull up. Now, the good thing about keyword searches is that they're very flexible, and you can use everyday vocabulary when you are completing a keyword search. So think of words that you use every day. These are the type of words that you can use to search with a keyword search. Okay? Just a reminder, we should be writing down any underlined words in our notes. Questions so far? So far we know that keyword searches have how many results? A large amount, a lot, right? Resources, broad, and it's more flexible. Now, keyword searches are great for beginning a research project. It helps you get familiar with the topic. It might bring up a wide variety of things that you can use to familiarize yourself and get prepared to do really specific research with the topic. Okay, so that's when keyword searches can be really awesome. But with the large number of results, keyword searches can also include unwanted or irrelevant results, right? If you're looking up Dog Man for the book, but you look up dog, it might bring up dog breed, or it might bring up the Dog of Pompeii that we just read in class. Okay, you might not get things that are about Dog Man if you're looking up a very basic keyword. Okay, what questions do we have on a keyword or basic search? Good. All right, let's talk about a subject heading. This is otherwise known as an advanced search. Who has done research online and seen the little bar that says advanced that you can click on? Okay, maybe you haven't noticed it. Most search sites, good job, hands down. Most search sites have that little option for advanced, but most of us, myself included, when I'm just looking for something quickly, I'm going to use a keyword search, right? But when we're looking for something that's very, very specific, maybe a specific resource or a specific piece of information, we're going to use a subject heading or advanced search. So subject headings will have much smaller number of results when you search up the word. Okay, so much smaller amount of results, and your resources will be much narrower. So there won't be as many types of resources. There will be a narrow range of those. So instead of getting a book and a newspaper and a magazine and a website, you might just get a book and a magazine, okay? Now, what can kind of be difficult or challenging with the subject heading search is that it is less flexible. You need to know exact words to be able to use a subject heading search. If you don't truly know the content of what you're looking for, you're gonna struggle with finding exactly what you need if you don't know the exact words. So unlike keyword search, does keyword bring up a lot of information?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can use a wide variety of words to get to the same piece of information. With the subject heading, it's a bit more specific, okay? Now, it is very useful, like I just said, when you're looking for specific information. You're in science class and you've been told to specifically look up a certain type of stalagmite, or you're looking up in history a very certain battle that occurred on this certain day in this certain location. So knowing exactly what you need, these searches are going to give you very specific information. And then it typically includes relevant results. When you do a keyword search, you might get random stuff, but when you are completing a subject heading search, your results are almost always going to be what you are looking for, as long as you know what type of words to use. Okay, what questions do we have about keyword versus subject heading searches? Yeah. Like the advanced bar? Yeah, so most search sites will have the advanced bar, even like Google has the advanced bar. So I think a lot of you guys just don't notice it because most of us use a keyword search, but it is almost always available to use. Now, different advanced searches might look different on various sites, but it'll be a more specific search.
So, could you still find what you're looking for, specifically with the basics?
Yeah, so you can find what you're looking for, guys, when you're doing a keyword search, but you might be sifting through a lot more information, right? Like I'm talking about like thousands of results versus like maybe 100 results. Sometimes it's even more extreme than that. So you can definitely find what you need for a keyword search, but it's gonna be a lot more difficult and it might take a little bit longer for you to find that exact piece of information if you're just completing a keyword search. Good question. What other questions do we have? Yes?
By less flexible, what does it mean?
So it's less flexible because you have to know the exact words, right? If you're looking for a book and you know there's something about the Titanic, you can look up the word Titanic and the word book, and maybe you're eventually going to find the right resource. For a subject heading search, you would have to know specifically, it's the Titanic, this is the author, so you have to know much more specific things about the resource that you're looking for, or about the topic that you're looking for. So it's less flexible in that it's harder to use if you don't know exactly what you need. Okay? Good question. What other questions do we have? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute to turn and talk with a partner about the differences between a keyword search and a subject heading search.
Okay, so
All right, howdy. I heard some really great conversations when I was walking around, you guys giving each other different examples. Would anyone like to share what they discussed with their partner? No.
they're the opposite.
They're completely opposites, pretty much, right? Good.
A keyword has like
more options and it's not as specific, but then a subject heading is more specific and doesn't have as many options.
Okay, good. Anyone else want to share what you guys discussed? Questions before we move on? All right, so let me introduce you guys to the list of databases that our district pays for you guys to have access to. So we are very fortunate to have the access and the ability to use the number of databases that the district provides. These are all available in your SSO portal, or if you go to the library Canvas page, you can access them there as well. So the first one is Britannica. Has anyone ever heard of Britannica before?
Oh, yes.
Okay, yep. It has a lot of different resources. You guys are mostly familiar with Britannica. We have EBSCO. Anyone familiar with EBSCO? Okay, maybe a couple of us. Gale. Okay, a few hands. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. InfoBase Learn 360. Okay, maybe y'all have seen that in your portal. Good. But teaching books. Okay, good. World Book. Okay. Miss Jordan right over here has a whole set of World Book books as references. So those are available in print here as well. And then we also have ProQuest SIRS Discoverer. Okay, so we've got 7 different great options for you guys to have access to all different sorts of information. Now, what we're going to be focused on today is Gale. So I'm going to kind of walk you guys through and show you exactly what the difference is between doing a keyword search versus a subject heading search. So give me just a moment. Let me pull this up. And I'm going to turn this way, and I'm going to duplicate my screen so you guys can see exactly what we are doing here. So from your SSO portal, you would see this icon for Gale, okay? And you would scroll. Gale has all different types of options, academic one file, books and authors, health and wellness. And then we kind of get into these Gale and context pieces, and it's more specific items. So they have a context for biography, global issues, environmental studies. And then we also have context for elementary, middle, and high school. Okay, the one that we're going to be focused on today, what do you guys think? The middle school one. Okay, so when you click on it, it brings us to this page. The first thing we see is a search bar. Okay, what's underneath that search bar? Advanced search. Good. So that is what you're looking for on any kind of search site when you want to do a more specific search. Now, I want to start out with a really basic search today, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the amount of information that you can find in a database like Gale. So I'm going to search up the word dog. Okay. What do you guys think? If I use a keyword basic search, do you think I'm going to get a lot of results or just a few?
A lot.
Probably a lot. Let's see. All right, so we have 175 references, 728 audio pieces, 1 creative works, 7 biographies, 6,663 magazines, 615 images, 6,842 news pieces, 69 videos, and 4 primary sources. That is a lot of information. Would y'all agree?
Oh, yeah.
So if you were looking for something that had to do with dogs and you were given this amount of information, do you think that you'd be able to find what you were looking for?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, probably eventually if you want to sift through everything. We see all the different types of resources, the different types of mediums at the top. And then if we scroll, we can see references, biography. So it just shows us an idea of each type of resource, okay? Now, say I want to look more specifically. I'm going to click on what? The advanced, and it pulls up a page that looks like this. Now, advanced searches give you a ton of options. We're gonna stay very simple with just different keywords that go more specific into the content that we're looking for. Yes?
So technically, advanced search is when you search without something with all those other like searches that you could press. That show
What do
up
you
at the
mean?
bottom. Like the search bar is right there, and you search the name, and then all those other searches that pop up below it.
Well, advanced, no. So you have to go to a separate page to do your advanced search. Okay, so when you just type into the search bar, guys, it's a great question. That's gonna always be a keyword search, okay? You have to specifically look for where it says advanced to get to a subject heading search, okay? So I'm still interested in dogs. I wanna know more about dogs, but what if I wanna know about different kinds of dogs? Maybe what word would I use? Okay, I'm gonna use the word breeds. So I'm gonna look for the word dog, and I'm gonna look for the word breeds. Do we think this is gonna give me maybe a few less options than our keyword search?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. All right, so way less options, only 32 references, 294 magazines. I think there were like 6,000 something magazines earlier. 66 images, 180 news articles, 6 videos, and 23 pieces of audio. So from this search, do we think that we'd have a much easier time of finding the information that we're looking for?
Oh yeah.
Probably. Now, I could even go one step further, say go back to my advanced search. I could look up dog. What if I looked up a specific breed? Do you think I'd get even more specific results? I have a Great Dane, so we're gonna look up a Great Dane. Now I only have a handful of results, okay? So do you guys see how much more specific our subject heading search can be?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you see how this could be useful when you're looking for information for a research project? Okay. Now, we are gonna be working on an activity. We're gonna go on a scavenger hunt within Gale using keyword and subject heading searches. Now, before I pass this out to you guys, I'm gonna give you an example of how you would answer one of these questions. So this one, for example, is talking about endangered species. Number 1 says endangered species are either plants or animals that are considered to be at risk of extinction. Bumblebees are on the endangered list. Find and read the news article from USA Today and fill in the blank. The Department of the Interior placed the bee on the list because of a dramatic population decline of blank over the past blank. So your goal would be to use the keyword and subject heading search to find the information that it's asking for. Okay, now what words do you guys think I could use to find the information I'm looking for? Okay, we heard the word bumblebee, right? What kind of bumblebees am I looking for?
Honeybees.
Endangered bumblebees, good. Okay, so I'm gonna search that. I get some reference articles, some magazines, and some news articles. Now it says, find and read the news article from USA Today. So what do I wanna click on?
USA.
I wanna go to the news articles. So I'm gonna click on news. Maybe, the one's right there, we go. And look, here we go. We have an article from USA Today, like they asked us to do in the question, about bumblebees landing securely on the endangered list. So when you find your resource, you click on it, and you can actually look at the article to find the information that you need. Okay, what do we think? Do we have any questions about conducting a keyword search versus an advanced search or a subject heading search? No? Good? Yes.
Would you get a more specific a more specific search if you use the bottom tab?
So, yes, great question. So Eric's asking if I use, if you want the third choice. So if I use in my advanced search, the third option for another term, say I did bumblebee, I did endangered, and it asked me for an article from USA Today. I can type in USA Today search, there's my article right there. Okay, so it gives you much more specific. Now, if I didn't know that my source was in USA Today, would I have been able to find that as easily? Probably not, right? So remember that the subject heading search is going to be a lot more specific and less flexible because we have to know the exact words of the content. Does that answer your question? Okay. What other questions do we have before I let you guys try this on your own? Yes?
What if for some reason it's not on there?
So if for some reason it's not on there, you could be using the wrong words. Sometimes we have to play around with searches. You might have to change the wording of something. So if I looked up dog type, type is another word kind of to breed, right? The type of dog, but looking up dog type is probably not going to give me the right information compared to if I looked up dog breed. So you might just have to change sometimes the verbiage or the wording that you use. Good question. Anyone else? Okay, so go ahead and open your laptops with your partner. We should have one per every 2 people. Once you get logged on, go ahead and remove your hands from the keyboard and I will let you know how you should get to Gale. So let me know if you have any questions or if your computer is not working. I'll talk about it. You're going to be on because we have it in the portal. Okay. Okay, once you get logged in, you can go ahead and go to your SSO portal and then stop there. Once you get logged in, go ahead and go to your SSO portal and then stop there. Some of y'all's computers are sleeping a little bit. Okay. Most of us there, SSO portal. No, they're still sleeping. Okay. All right, looks like most of us are into our portals. So let me go ahead and show you where you are going to go. So once you are in your portal, you are looking at all of the apps that are offered to you, and you should see a blue like spiral thing with some rectangles, and it says Gale underneath. Does anyone not see the Gale app? Still loading? Okay. This blue Gale logo. Does anyone not see this on their SSO portal? Huh? Does anyone not see Gale? All right, once you get into your portal, go ahead and click on Gale. And you are then going to come to the page that you saw me look at earlier. Do you remember what we're going to scroll down to? Gale, good. Gale in context where it says middle school. So you got to scroll down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows down. Oh, sorry, 4 rows down. Click on it, and then you should be open to this screen right here. Is anyone not able to get there? Yes. Yeah, just split. Or you can find another one, but yeah. All right, guys. So from here, is where you will begin your searches for your activity. Okay, I am going to pass out a worksheet to each one of you guys. We talked about the first question together, so should you now know what words to search for question 1? Yep, and we're bumblebee, endangered. If you want to use the words US Today, you can do that as well. As soon as you get your paper, you guys can begin searching. There are 5 total searches that you should be completing. Now, if you don't find the information you're looking for first, what should you do? Change your words, right? Change your search style. Okay, as soon as you get the paper, you guys can go ahead and begin. Make sure you're listening with your partner, please. Okay, does everyone have a worksheet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys about 15 minutes to work with your partner. You may go ahead and begin if you've not already done so. Yes. On that one, yes. How's it going, guys? Once you find your information, write your answer, and then write the name of the article that you found it from. So once you, okay, so good question. Hey guys, listen up real quick. So once you find the correct source, you're gonna have to scan the source to find the information that is going to answer the question that's being asked, okay? So once you get into the correct resource, you might have to skim it, look for the keywords that are going to give you the answer that you need, okay?
Oh, Mark. Bro, there's a quicker way to do it. Bro.
Yes.
So what did you say?
You'll just look for keywords. So you're looking for a population line of animals over the past, like, you're looking for like a line and a population line of persons. complete. That's what it is complete. Okay, once you complete number 1, move on to number 2. You have about 10 more minutes to get through as many of these as you can.
I'm going here to do the
Look at scan the article. You're looking for something that's going to be about the dramatic population decline of something over the past something. Now, bumblebees wouldn't be the dramatic population decline. That whole article is about it. So you're looking for like a percentage or a number of bumblebees that have declined and a length of time. Well, you need to find it in the article though.
It says you guys in the article and
Right. You need to look for the information in the article.
over the past where's that actually?
That's it. So the blank is correct, but it's fine. That's correct. That's the source. Your answer goes up here. Guys, reminder, your source is not just Gale. Howdy. Howdy. Your source is not going to be Gale. Yes, we are using the database of Gale. The source will be like the title of the article or the author. So you need to be more specific of where you are getting your information from. You're going to watch the video. You're going to tell me what You guys have about 5 more minutes to finish up. Okay, so should all be in the same area. So it
Question.
so you'll be searching for it. Yeah, 1 minute
Where's the glasses?
Alright, howdy. Alright, so I know that some of you guys might not have finished, but hopefully this gave you, guys, hopefully this gave you a good idea of how we're using the two different types of searches, okay? So going back to our notes, I want us to do some more reflection. Oh, maybe. I want us to do some more reflection over what we just did with our activity. Let's see if we can get it pulled up here. All right. So on your own, writing on your paper, I want you to tell me what is the most interesting information that you learned about research strategies. It can be anything that you learned today, that there is an advanced search, or that you can use different words, or that there's a lot of results versus very few results. So quietly on your own, writing that on your notes, what is the most interesting thing that you learned about research today? On the back. Guys, on the back where it says reflection, telling me what the most interesting thing you learned today is. Okay, once you're done writing down the most interesting information that you learned, I want you to then think about and write down how you think you might use this information in the future. This can be how you might use it at home in your personal life, or how you might use it at school. I want you thinking about how you plan on using this information that you learned today in the future. Write that down as well, please, on the reflection piece on your notes. All right. You guys are going to take 1 minute to turn and talk with your shoulder partner about the most interesting thing you learned today and how you plan on using this. Go ahead and begin.
Like I said, I use specific.
Howdy. All right, I want to hear from you guys what the most interesting thing that you learned today is. Yes?
That there's an advanced search.
There is an advanced search. A lot of you guys didn't even know that. Good.
That advanced search is easier to find your answers than basic search.
Okay, good. So it might be easier to find your answers than a basic search.
I learned what a media literacy is.
Hey, what media literacy is. Good. Anyone else want to share the most interesting thing that you learned today? All right. So with all the information that you guys learned today, how do we plan on using this in the future?
If I need information for a project or paper, I'm going to use advanced.
Okay, awesome.
To be careful with wording because I can end up with something totally different.
Okay, good. That's important.
If I'm looking for something specific, I'll use the advanced search.
Okay, good.
To find value information in me.
Okay, awesome.
If there was a specific article that I really want, maybe tell me how to compare it.
Okay, good. Good, guys. Does anyone else have any further questions about how we can use different research strategies to find the information that we're looking for? All right, y'all did an awesome job today. Thank you for letting me teach you about research strategies, and I hope that you guys can take this information with you and use it when you need it. Awesome. Thanks, and gig 'em.